Every year, the global sheep industry saves more than 1.5 billion USD in labor costs and cuts up to 60% of care time thanks to modern technology. But the bigger question is this: how can humans control sheep, a species known for being temperamental, easily stressed, and existing in herds that can number in the millions? From vast farms spanning thousands of hectares monitored from above, to factories where wool is refined and meat is processed in fully refrigerated production lines, the journey of sheep is a technological network operating with almost unbelievable precision. And today, let's join Terran work to explore how technology is gradually reshaping every step of the sheep production chain. As one of the earliest domesticated animals, sheep have become the backbone of many agricultural economies, thanks especially to their highly valuable wool. The wool industry now exceeds 30 billion USD annually, with the Merino breed alone accounting for nearly 40% of global production. Did you know that every wool fiber is essentially a mini air conditioning tube? Its naturally crimped structure creates thousands of tiny air pockets, allowing wool to stay warm in the cold, breathable in the heat, and fully biodegradable within just 1 to 5 years, making it one of the most sustainable biomaterials in the world. Beyond wool, sheep meat is also a multi-billion-dollar sector, with Australia exporting more than 3.6 billion USD worth of lamb and mutton in 2024. Lamb is rich in omega-3 and contains less cholesterol than beef, making it a popular choice in healthy diets across Europe, the Middle East, and even the United States. Sheep mowing grass for solar farms? It may sound unbelievable, but that's exactly the solar grazing model spreading across Texas. Instead of using fuel-powered mowers between thousands of solar panels, farmers release sheep to naturally trim the grass without damaging the system. Solar grazing is turning solar fields into dual ecosystems, producing clean energy while improving soil health in the most sustainable way. And right now, let's visit Rawlinna, Australia, the largest sheep station on Earth, to discover how modern technology is managing these massive flocks. The journey of sheep farming begins with breed selection, a decision that can shape an entire farm for years to come. Today, there are more than 1,000 sheep breeds worldwide, each carrying unique traits suited to different production goals. Merino is renowned for its ultra-fine wool, with each sheep producing up to 4 to 5 kilograms of fleece per season. Dorper is favored for its rapid weight gain, reaching 36 to 40 kilograms in just a few months. Meanwhile, Suffolk stands out for its endurance and adaptability, making it a versatile choice for both meat and breeding. But choosing the breed is only the beginning. Each one requires a different approach, from nutrition and environment to health monitoring. And from here, an entire hidden world of modern sheep farming starts to unfold. A place where specialized technologies, rarely seen by the public, are quietly reshaping everything. Sheep care in modern farms has entered an entirely new era, where automatic feeding machines take over the heavy work with near-perfect precision. The TKS Easy Feed and Kuhn feed mixer systems operate like an overhead nutrition conveyor, suspended on steel rails and moving along the barns to deliver rations, down to the exact gram for each sheep group. Inside, high-power mixing paddles blend hay, silage, and starch evenly within minutes, before a conveyor lifts the feed into the distribution hopper. A central computer can program dozens of different rations per day, automatically analyzing intake and maintaining consistent nutrition. Thanks to this system, sheep receive rations with more than 95% accuracy, leading to faster weight gain, reduced feed waste, and significant labor savings for the farm. Alongside the TKS Easy Feed, many farms also use linear automatic grain feeders that can dispense more than 30 precise portions per minute to long rows of sheep. Weight sensor dosing hoppers ensure each sheep receives exactly the starch it needs, without wasting a single gram. To maintain flock health and ensure consistent meat and wool quality, regular inspection and care are indispensable. On vast grazing fields, the Racewell Auto Drafter has transformed health checks, once dependent on manual labor, into a fast, highly precise automated process. When a sheep steps into the handling chamber, sensors scan its RFID tag and instantly record its weight, growth rate, and health history. In less than 3 seconds, the system measures with 100-gram accuracy and automatically sorts the sheep into the correct group. Its air cushion catch-hold-release mechanism minimizes stress to the animal. Racewell also functions as a mini veterinary station, allowing farmers to administer medication, add minerals, or check eyes and teeth within seconds. At large-scale farms, the system can process 300 to 600 sheep per hour, significantly reducing labor and saving tens of thousands of dollars annually. After the health check, the flock moves into parasite prevention, where the automatic dipping system proves its worth. Instead of manual spraying that often leaves gaps, the high-pressure spray chamber coats the sheep's entire body in seconds, with nozzles positioned above, on both sides, and beneath the legs to ensure the solution penetrates the thick fleece. Thanks to camlock valves and precise flow control, chemical use is reduced by up to 40% while maintaining maximum effectiveness. With a throughput of 800 sheep per hour, the automatic dipping system becomes a biosecurity shield, keeping the flock disease-free and ready for the next stages. Did you know that reproduction is the heart of sheep farming, where every small decision directly affects the next generation? To ensure lambs are born healthy and grow evenly, pregnancy monitoring must begin from the very first weeks. Sheep carry their young for about 5 months, and even the slightest mistake during this period can impact the entire year's productivity. When a ewe starts lying down more, separating from the flock and seeking quiet corners, it's a sign that labor has begun. With gentle supervision from the farmer, healthy lambs will arrive within just a few hours. After newborn lambs take their first sip of colostrum, the true nurturing phase begins. At this stage, their survival and growth rate depend almost entirely on milk, either from the ewe or from formula when the mother's supply is insufficient. This is why the automatic milk feeder becomes the lamb's automated nutrition doctor. It mixes and maintains milk at 38 to 40 degrees Celsius, dispensing exactly 50 to 200 milliliters per feeding, with a frequency of 6 to 8 times per day. With sensors that track each lamb's intake, the system ensures every lamb receives the exact nutrients it needs while minimizing waste. Have you ever wondered what, in the digital age, is quietly taking the place of shepherd dogs across vast open fields? The answer lies in sheep herding drones, the flying shepherds of the modern technological era. With a viewing range covering dozens of hectares and a flight time of more than 30 minutes, drones can gather flocks, check scattered positions, and locate straying sheep within minutes, far faster than walking the fields. Notably, when a lone sheep is detected, the drone emits directional sounds to guide it back to the group without causing disturbance. With high mobility, low operating costs, and impressive accuracy, drones are becoming the new shepherding crew across farms in Australia and New Zealand, saving hours of labor and greatly reducing the risk of missing sheep during grazing season. At the end of spring, when warm sunlight spreads across the pastures, the sheep shearing season begins. High-speed Heiniger and Lister shearing machines are indispensable tools in modern farms. Operating at 1200 to 1500 RPM, they can shear hundreds of sheep per day, saving time and drastically reducing labor compared to manual shearing. Their smooth, quiet mechanism also minimizes stress for the sheep and keeps the operators safe. At several farms in Europe and New Zealand, wool is even harvested using BioClip, a technique that injects a protein causing the fleece to naturally detach as a full coat after about a week. This method causes virtually no stress, but its cost is 2-3 times higher than machine shearing, and it requires a longer waiting period, so it is mostly used for high-quality wool flocks. However, whether through mechanical shearing or BioClip, the goal remains the same: to obtain intact, premium-grade fleeces. And once those wool bales are shipped out, the true journey of the fiber begins, where they are graded and standardized in factories before becoming raw material for luxury products. Once the wool arrives at the factory, all raw fleece is emptied into massive holding bins and begins its rigorous sorting process. Here, each section of wool is examined by eye and by hand to assess fiber length, fineness, crimp, and the level of impurities. Each bale is then classified into more than 120 different quality grades, ready for the next stage of processing. After sorting, the qualified wool batches are transferred to the industrial washing system, where the cleaning journey begins. The fibers are poured onto a vibrating conveyor to remove loose dirt before entering hot water baths at 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. Here, rotating drums and mild detergents dissolve lanolin, sand, and impurities, transforming the once raw fleece into clean, soft, white fibers. Once the wool has been washed and dewatered, it is fed into a continuous drying system, where hot air at 80 to 100 degrees Celsius blows through massive rotating drums. This process reduces the moisture content from 60% down to about 15%, the ideal level to prevent fiber breakage during carding. Temperature and airflow sensors keep the humidity consistent for each batch. When the white fibers fluff up and become light as clouds, they are ready for the next crucial stage: carding. From the drying chamber, the wool is fed into the carding machine, equipped with hundreds of thousands of high-speed metal teeth. Rotating drums at 600 to 900 RPM separate, straighten, and align each fiber, transforming the fluffy wool mass into a smooth, continuous web. Any remaining tiny impurities are removed, and from this web, the machine forms thin, uniform strands known as slivers. The slivers are fed into the spinning machine, where they are drawn out 20 to 40 times their original length and evenly twisted using either rotor or ring spinning mechanisms. This combination of draft and twist determines the yarn's strength, fineness, and overall quality. The resulting 20 to 30 micron yarns are then wound onto bobbins at speeds of up to 10,000 RPM. Once the fibers become strong, fine, and uniform like a fully finished thread, the wool's transformation journey moves on to the fabric-making stage. The spun yarn is transported to the automatic weaving frame, where thousands of warp threads are tensioned across the loom. A shuttle or jet air system shoots the weft threads at speeds of 600 to 200 insertions per minute, interlacing them to form wide, even wool fabric with the precise thread density specified in the design. Once the fabric is wound into large rolls, it continues through finishing processes such as soft washing, dyeing, or heat setting. From here, these raw wool fabrics are transformed into countless familiar products: insulating winter coats, ultralight merino scarves, thick wool blankets, and even insulation materials and interior textiles. Beyond their valuable wool for the textile industry, sheep also provide another equally important product: lamb and mutton, a common food ingredient across Europe, the Middle East, and New Zealand. The journey of lamb meat begins at the farm, where sheep weighing 40 to 50 kilograms are carefully selected, health-checked, and transported to processing plants using specialized vehicles designed to minimize stress. At the facility, the sheep are placed in a 6 to 12-hour resting area to stabilize their physiology before undergoing electrical stunning. Next, the entire carcass is suspended on an automated rail system for cleaning, dehairing, evisceration, and hygiene control under HACCP standards. A modern processing line can handle 150 to 250 animals per hour, depending on scale. Afterward, the meat is deboned and divided into commercial cuts such as leg, rack, shoulder, and loin, then moved into rapid chilling systems to bring the temperature down to 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, preserving color and texture. Finally, the products are vacuum-packed, labeled with RFID traceability, and distributed worldwide, becoming the fresh lamb trays served on family tables across many countries. From the fields to the factory floor, The journey of sheep proves that agriculture is no longer just a story of planting or raising animals. It is a blend of tradition and technology, of human hands working alongside tireless automated systems. Every soft wool fiber and every premium meat cut is the result of an entire chain of care, monitoring, and continuous innovation. And it is this very combination that has shaped a more sustainable, efficient, and humane sheep industry.